Well, welcome back to the world of unknown.
Hey guys,
This is
Danny.
I'm Trevor. We're gonna do a Cryptids episode again.
Yes, Cryptids Part 2.
Yeah, Cryptids Part 2.
Part
Have a little
2.
fun with it too.
Yes. Going on. So as you know, that last time we did, there's a crap load of cryptids and not all of them deserve their own episode. Basically, some people
we can bunch them.
After that last episode, they're asking about some of the bigger ones. I'm like, we think the bigger cryptids that we assess that will have their own episodes.
Yeah, like
these are some of the
Sasquatch and
smaller
stuff like
ones
that,
Bigfoot and Mothman and all that stuff. They'll have their own ones, but these are the kind of smaller ones that I still want to bring up, but I don't think they need their own episode. So we're going to putting in our list. If you've seen our last one,
Bunch them together.
And if you guys, we got a cryptid that you guys kind of like, and you want some more info on that you want us to touch on, we'll try to do that. Sometimes there's not. Sometimes the info we have is all we can find on it. But if we have something that you guys like, then we can always go back to it and try to expand more onto it, next time. But so you guys, put that in the comments or anything. But let's just jump right into it. So Cryptids Part 2, man. Let's get some of these things out of the way here. What do you got there?
All right, I'm gonna butcher the hell out of this. I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's all good.
So there's a dinosaur in the Congo. It's like a long neck.
Yes.
People have been seeing it more because between 2000 and 2016, they cut down like 23 million hectares of rainforest in the Congo.
That's a lot. Yeah.
So now you're seeing more of the animals that usually are deeper in the jungles and stuff come out, and people have been seeing more sightings of them.
Right.
So this dinosaur called Mokele Mbebe.
Oh, right.
Probably messed that up.
It sounds good.
So it's in the Congo Basin.
Sounds like a Spanish song.
Anyways. In the heart of the Odzala Kokoa National Park.
Glad you got this one tonight, in.
So it's in a national park.
Okay. It's all in the Congo.
Yeah, it's all in the Congo. Actually, this is the second largest rainforest in the world.
Okay.
So the legend is mostly from the indigenous tribes, and it's multiple tribes that have this same legend. It's called the river, one who stops rivers. It's been told for centuries.
Yeah.
So there has to be something to it.
Right. It's kind of almost like and a lot of these we get like a folklore and kind of mythological kind of creature that's kind of still seen today, so which puts it in the cryptid kind of aspect to it.
Yeah, like no one's. Science is, it's in the Congo, so it's really kind of hard to go down there.
Right.
It's a little dangerous down there, but there's been sightings from adventurers, European adventurers, stuff like that throughout the times. It's said to reside in this lake Tele.
Okay.
And it's where it is. It's actually a really interesting place because it's a lake surrounded by virgin jungle, so no one's been there. Except like indigenous tribes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no one's touched it. It hasn't been surveyed. It hasn't been it's just this. It's kind of like swamps.
Right. Sounds like a lot of fun. But it's dangerous country. I mean, it's out there. It's
So it's kind of cool. Well, the reason that I went with this one is this rainforest is so big that they were doing a survey of the national park.
Okay.
So back in 2006, the gorilla population for the entire world was like in the 100,000.
Yeah.
So in this rainforest, in this national park, they found over 120,000 gorillas.
Oh, wow.
So if they can find that, and that was like 2007.
Right.
Who knows what's in there?
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. And so with this cryptid, I'm not even going to attempt the name. They just kind of see it out there feeding and grazing and
yeah, just every once in a while it just pops up and then disappears back in the swamp or back in the lake, and it's kind of like a Nessie type sighting.
Gotcha. And I can tell like people are like, well, why isn't there a video of it? I'm like, well, this is way in the middle of nowhere. If you're out there, you don't have your really phone out. You're hiking. Yeah. And this is like deep forest. I mean jungle hiking, which would be different than just kind of strolling along. And
you're looking out for poisonous spiders, poisonous snakes.
The last thing you want to do is be stuck on your phone. Exactly.
A big ass cat that wants to eat you.
Right. Exactly.
Like there's a bunch of stuff when you're hiking through any type of
That makes
African
sense.
jungle,
Gotcha.
you're not dicking around on your phone going.
Look, guys,
you have a machete in hand.
Yeah.
You're looking out for things that can bite you or kill you, or you're looking for your next step.
Which should be your number one concern is you don't want anything to eat you. I mean, that's
in all honesty, most people die because they like break an ankle and they can't get out.
Oh, that's scary, and you don't realize that how simple
just simple
really,
little,
or even like a severely twisted ankle where it limits your and you can't get out in time where it gets dark and you're
because you're talking about
screwed.
days.
Yeah.
You're talking about days. They have to hike you back out.
Yep, exactly.
So some of the people think that it's mistaken for a really large elephant or a hippo.
Okay. But,
which I kind of can see it, like if it's in the water,
especially
and
the
it's
trunk, exactly.
And who knows how big those African elephants get?
Right.
So I can see that, but
you would imagine some of those experienced trail hikers, because if you're in the jungle, you're usually not a novice, or if you are, you're with somebody who's really experienced that's seen the stuff. You would think they'd be able to tell between another animal that's known compared to something like. I don't know what that is. Like, it kind of looks like an elephant, but that's no elephant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm also thinking about what time did you see it? Was it twilight? Was it going in the river? Did you just see like a head pop out with a big hump?
Right, and those,
and if it's from like the local tribes, of course they're gonna make the whole thing about it. Like it's gonna be a story.
Interesting. So I'll post the name up here again. I'm not gonna try to say that.
Yeah, it was, but even like. It got enough attention that the National Geographic did a whole piece on it.
Okay, cool.
So
there you go.
Maybe there's something to it.
Yeah,
maybe not. I hope I hope Nessie's in the dicking around.
Yeah, dicking around with Nessie. Yeah. All right, guys.
That'd be a good sitcom.
Hey, so the one one of the first ones I got was called the Grafton Monster.
Okay.
It's one of West Virginia's cryptids. It's described as a 7 to 10 feet tall, headless, humanoid, muscular creature with smooth, seal-like skin. And I saw kind of a picture of it. It's really creepy looking. So it's basically like a big, hulking. It looks like it walks on two legs, but just like a big hulking person with no head on it. Its first reported sighting was in 1964. It's become in its Appalachian, a mountain area. Some theories suggest it could be like a mutated animal, an alien, or a misidentified bear, possibly.
A bear with no head?
Maybe the way they see it or something, but I don't know. So one of the first encounters is Robert Cockrell's encounter. And so June 16th, 1964, he was a journalist, was driving home along Riverside, and he saw Riverside Drive, and he saw a massive headless creature standing near the roadside. He described it as a white-skinned, broad-shouldered, and towering over 7 feet. He sped home later, to tell friends, and then they came back to investigate it. They didn't find the creature, but they found where the area that he had seen it. There was crushed grass, and they could hear like a low whistling noise coming from the direction of the Tygart River.
Okay, that's not a bear then.
Right.
I've never heard a bear whistle.
So after that sighting, the word got around, and locals started forming search parties. They armed themselves, started going in the woods trying to look for this thing, and they claimed to hear like deep echoing bellows, but no one could get like definitive proof of it or anything. So it was so intense that the Grafton Sentinel dismissed the story as spring fever. Just saying it was people just got all hyped up and
they just wanted something to go hunt.
The paranormal researcher, remember this name, come up again, Gray Barker.
Okay.
He investigated the monster and linked it to UFO phenomena, but suddenly he just kind of dropped the story altogether, and people thinking like that he was probably told to, pressured to drop it. But what we learned about Gray Barker, he wasn't always on the up and up. He kind of sensationalized it.
Yeah.
So maybe he thought there was nothing really there he can grab onto. Anyways.
He wanted a story.
Again, some reports claim the Grafton Monster has superhuman strength. It was capable of uprooting trees. Witness described it as surprisingly agile, moving really swiftly, despite the big size that it has. Others believe it has stealth abilities, vanishing into the shadows. There was no official police documentation on it, but the town's reaction in '64 led to widespread searches and local newspaper covering. There was stuff all over. They have made books about it. It's been in video games, and apparently the creature appears in Fallout 76. So there's folklore studies and cryptid stuff. So it's I don't know since 64 it's showed up again. I guess it has, but there's never been any definitive proof or pictures or anything about it. But it still lives on now. It's one of those things that just kind of continues
Appalachian
on.
Trail.
Yeah. Again, I'll put pictures of all this stuff that we have, and I saw a photo of it. I'm like, ugh, I would not like to see that. It is very creepy.
Okay, I'm surprised no one has gotten attacked by it though.
Right. I didn't see anything about that. Maybe
it's just a really nice thing, and it's just like, these people hate me.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, these headed people, they hate me.
Why they're so angry.
Right. Exactly.
Well,
we like our people to have heads.
Yeah, right. So mine is actually from the Appalachian Trail too.
There's a lot up there.
So I went on like a whole deep dive on the Appalachian Trail, which you get into some things, like the wrong turn. That's Appalachian Trail. Those backwoods people.
Yeah.
This one is not like the most creepy thing in the world. It's just called the knot deer.
That is creepy to me, but yes.
So picture you're walking down the Appalachian Trail.
This and this thing was mentioned in our other episode of doppelgangers and mimics and stuff. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
So you're looking at a deer that has the eyes are more forward facing. It's standing on it's on its hind legs. The legs are bent weird. Yeah. So like you would think that it almost looks like a kangaroo where they're like bent backwards.
Right.
I think the eyes like glow a certain way, like they're like a predator type glow. Yeah. It can be aggressive, and it has like a predator nature to it.
Right.
It's definitely not afraid of humans. Like it's chased humans up trees before.
That's scary. Yeah.
So that one had me cracking up. It's usually sighted by the roads.
Okay.
So this one, I really hope this is true. I really hope it's true. So what people really think that this thing is a kangaroo that escaped from the zoo or a circus in the area.
You would think they'd be able to know the difference between a kangaroo and a deer.
You're talking about some random people that just got attacked by some random thing.
That's true. You don't know maybe they didn't get a good look at it. Something's coming at them. Yeah.
Which I think that'd be hilarious. You just get the shit kicked out of you by a kangaroo in the Appalachian Trail.
I've seen some of those videos on YouTube, man. Those things don't joke around. Up. Exactly.
Yeah, so the fur tones from a kangaroo and the North American deer that this knot deer is supposed to be is really similar.
Yeah.
And then the kangaroo has that upright stance.
Yes,
with the legs
that's true,
weird.
yeah.
Some other things would be that the deer has birth defects. Can't walk, like the walking pattern's weird, the head shape's a little off.
Right.
That's why the eyes are a little bit closer.
Okay.
The other one, it could be early stages of chronic wasting disease, which happens a lot up there.
For the animals and stuff?
Yeah, so it's called the zombie deer syndrome.
Ew. I don't like the sound of that.
Which is also, they think that's what like the Wendigo is.
Okay.
So the symptoms are like it's difficult with movement, listlessness, tremors, nervousness, fear. It completely loses its fear of humans.
Right.
And it looks confused a lot.
Right.
So that also, like when you see the legs, it could be losing the internal the tissues on the legs, right, which are causing it to look a little weird. It's not standing proper.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the eyes could be from the open lesions from the fluid.
Jeez, so it's really wasting away.
Reflecting, it leaks into the eyes, and when you shine a flashlight, it reflect just back
kind of like your cats or dogs do that.
Yeah,
pictures. Okay, or just not any pictures, light.
But I saw the pictures of this thing, and I was like, if I saw that standing on two, I don't know what the fuck I'd do. Like I'd be like,
that sounds creepy. You said
I'm gonna shoot you.
Creepy as shit. Exactly. Right.
This is why you walk around with guns out in the middle of nowhere.
By the way, I think I know a few people with chronic wasting disease.
I know a bunch of people
chronic wasted disease.
Yep,
That's I do. We all know a few people.
God, I dealt with them last night.
Dude, I'm so wasted.
Why your eyes look glazed over?
You got that chronic wasted look to you, buddy. Oh, dude. What, who are you?
Walks right into a wall. You're like, yeah, he's wasted.
Anyways, yeah. So yeah, when you said that didn't sound scary, that sounds scary as shit to me. I'm running. I know
it's never attacked anybody. Like it's ran people up trees. It's ran people down the trails.
It's chased somebody. Exactly. Yeah. I wouldn't stick around to find out. He's not going to tickle you. That's for sure. He's just
like, you know what that sounds like? The Last of Us. shit from The Last of Us, like
exactly.
that. Yeah.
And they're not ticklers; they're biters. And I've seen Last of Us. All right, so let's go up to this one's called the lacrosse man bat.
So does it play lacrosse?
Maybe.
Is it really good?
It might be. If you begin called the lacrosse man bat, you better be awesome. So it's a cryptid in the La Crosse County, which has got its name in Wisconsin. It's described as a winged humanoid standing 6 to 7 feet tall with leathery, jeez. Just me and words. Bat-like wings, sharp teeth, and glowing eyes. Some witnesses claim it emits a high-pitched shriek which causes nausea or sickness for those who encounter it.
So it's Batman.
Yes, but it's a man bat. It's more bat than man.
But was Batman more man than bat?
Oh, that is a good question. I like that. Right.
We don't really know.
Right. Batman, man bat. Batman actually, he slept upside down. People don't know that.
Yeah, he was a weird one.
But he always had poop like coming up because he'd just fallen just on the back of his head. Sorry. Anyway, sorry. Getting a little sidetracked there. So the cryptid is a winged humanoid. Let's see. Its sightings are actually kind of fairly recent. So Briggs Road encounter on September 26, 2006, a 53-year-old man and his 25-year-old son were driving along the Briggs Road in is that Holman, Wisconsin. The headlights caught the winged figure flying towards their truck. It was like 6 to 7 feet tall. Its wingspan is 10 to 12 feet long. It had long claws and a snarling expression. At the last moment, it swooped upwards in the night sky and shrieking loudly. Almost instantly after the shriek, both men became violently ill. They were throwing up everywhere, and they had to pull over to the side. And that sickness lasted for a week, they said, leading to some speculation that the creature's sound emitted a toxic substance. I guess or
like sonar almost?
Or maybe, So
that's kind of a small wingspan for a 6 to 7 foot creature.
Well, that's true. That is kind of, so maybe...
I think it'd be like 20 feet.
I guess it's just them kind of guessing a little bit, maybe a little bit bigger. I mean, so those father and son remained sick for days after the encounter. They were able to find relief from medication. They believe their illness was directly linked to the brief exposure to the creature. So maybe it was either the sound or just the creature itself lets off a toxic substance or something.
Could be.
Around the same time, separate sightings described the seeing the same thing around the area in Medford, Wisconsin. Possibly the man bat doesn't really say or nothing. Plus the state DNR warden and highway workers also reported seeing the reptilian humanoid. Jeez. Near Highway 13, close to the Black River. So not anything other. Let's see. So more expanded details on it is so almost instantaneously people were becoming sick when they saw them. There were some other people that came across it. They described the creature as having distended ribs, long human-like legs with claws, terrifying teeth. They try to ask the son about it. He didn't want to talk about it. Let's see, the cryptid researcher Linda Gottfried. Did we talk about her? Does that name sound familiar? Maybe
it
not.
Does sound familiar, actually.
She basically, so there wasn't no actual statement by the police. It was just these cryptid researchers and people take it for that kind of looked into these people, saying they thought these people were kind of credible. But then again, a lot of these researchers, like that, always say that
because they want their name in the
they want the name exactly. So some of the theorists believe that man bat, the ultrasonic frequency that it came up is probably disorientate you to cause you nausea. But that makes sense because then it throws off, maybe the sound throws off your equilibrium to make you sick. It could have been just or a biological defense mechanism, releasing toxins or pheromones that kind of maybe that to make you sick and stuff like that.
Yeah, but if they were in a car, how would it get in there?
That's what I was thinking too. So, then again, if it was actually true, how would you figure that out? But so that was, and that's the only kind of encounter I could see other than the other kind of scattered encounters, which they didn't say it was that. They thought something similar to that in that area about that time.
Yeah.
Other than that, I haven't found anything else about that.
I still think it's Batman.
It could have been Batman. Is Batman?
He's taking a break.
Maybe he had those. Okay, I wasn't going to say that. I'm going to start getting wrong. So I would say he had bad gas, and that's what caused these guys to get sick. Because that would do it. Exactly.
Yeah, he's on vacation. He's scaring people.
Exactly.
Oh man.
What we got?
All right. So the one I got is the Dover Demon. I don't know. Now that I look at it, I don't know why they gave it this name.
Yeah.
Also, all the eyewitnesses, all their last names start with B. So I don't know.
They start with B?
B.
Okay.
It's weird. I don't know if they were just, if the whole town's last name is B.
Yeah.
But, so it started in April 1970 in Dover, Massachusetts.
Okay.
This thing looks like a gray alien with a watermelon head.
Okay.
So it's like a thin, pale body with a large, like I shit you not, a watermelon head.
Okay.
Which that's in a couple of the ones I found.
Yeah.
Glowing eyes. Sometimes they're orange. Sometimes they're green. I've never heard of an attack or anything. Although eyewitnesses,
just sightings.
Yeah. So like this lady named Lauren Coleman spearheaded the investigation after the sightings were done, and she's the one that gave it the Dover Demon.
Okay.
She didn't find anything.
Right.
You know, what they think it could be is like a fowl or a moose calf. They definitely think it's a hoax.
Right. Okay.
Or this is the one that I don't get. A misinterpretation of an owl.
It's always an owl. Those poor owls. They're like, what do we do?
Yeah, I've seen some giant ass owls. None of them had a watermelon head.
Yeah.
I think I would remember that.
I can imagine them telling it to an owl, it's like, so we think this Dover Demon is one of you guys. And it's like, who? Like, the Dover Demon. Who? The Dover Demon, one of you guys. Who? I'm like, oh, God damn it. Okay, sorry. Stupid joke.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
so here's another thing, too. It's funny that, so this lady named it, obviously. I mean, I don't understand what the demon part comes in.
I have zero idea.
I think she just, the Dover, and she just took this place. Like, well, the Dover Demon kind of rolls off the tongue.
I think so, too.
Right, exactly.
Like,
anyway,
all right, I'm going to go through the eyewitness accounts,
yes.
and there's no demon.
Demon, yeah.
Yeah, so William Bartlett saw the creature on a farm street.
Okay.
And he's the one that said it had a watermelon-shaped head and glowing eyes.
Right.
Nothing happened from it. It was just he saw it, and it disappeared. John Baxter, seeing another B.
Yeah.
Saw the creature on Mill Hill Road.
Yeah.
Says it definitely was not an ordinary human or an animal.
Okay.
And then Abby Brobham. Brobham? Yeah.
With a B, right?
Yeah. Saw it on a Springdale Avenue. I like how everyone has the streets they saw it on. It's
yes.
perfect.
On the corner of 5th and Main.
Yeah. It says she saw it. It has glowing green eyes.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're getting the demon from.
Right.
I
it's
feel
just
like
scary, like monsters, so they just say demon.
I'm gonna laugh. This thing was a goat that was
Yeah,
just
right.
running around,
Exactly.
fucking around.
Yeah.
Maybe got into a watermelon and was just kind of.
It's stuck on its head.
That's what I'm kind of thinking.
I'm like, well, they're true. It did have a watermelon head.
That's what I'm kind of thinking. Like, I think like because have you ever seen goats when they attack? Like they'll act tough and they'll like bounce and they'll hit their head against things. Like, like the guard dog or they'll hit. What if it did it to a watermelon and it just
got
went
stuck
right
on
through?
Its head? Yeah.
And then he started wandering around because he had no idea where he is.
That could be it. That's funny.
I'm gonna go with mine. And I don't think it's a demon. I think it's a goat.
Okay. And then just that's what they're looking at, and
I think they just like, what the fuck was that?
And maybe it's just the time of day. Maybe it's kind of
thinking night,
like dusk or night, where and it's far enough away. Like, oh my god, that look at that creature has
watermelon.
Look at his watermelon head. Exactly.
Like, I'm not scared of anything with a watermelon head.
Right. Well, I mean, it's easy to say that, but right, exactly.
I'm just not. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm just like, all right.
Well, these people with last B names are probably a bunch of B holes.
Like Bartlett, Baxter, and Brobham. I'm like, dude, how the fuck did they couldn't get anyone with a C or an F?
Oh yeah, no. They
like,
have to be.
I want to like look back in the day and like see if the whole town was like related to like 3 families.
With B's.
Baxter or Bartlett.
I wonder if there's
Brobham.
other sightings, but whoever was putting out was like, okay, what's your last name?
I couldn't find any.
What? No, Smith. No, I'm sorry, I can't. That's right.
We don't do Smiths.
Could you change your last name to Biff? No. Okay, no, not gonna do it.
Sorry.
Exactly. Right.
You got attacked by it? Yeah, but you're not a B. I like B's.
What's last name, sir? Gonzalez? No, that's not gonna happen. Could you change it to Bonzales? No. Okay.
Okay, we're not doing it. Sorry,
we're not doing it. We're not gonna report it.
Not in my paper.
Yeah, just somebody with OCD just got to hold that story.
Hilarious. That would actually be fucking hilarious.
Anyways,
the guy had a cantaloupe head. No, we're doing watermelon.
No, watermelon. You saw somebody. Yeah, that's funny. You saw someone with a pineapple head. No,
it's
got to be a watermelon.
No, that sounds angry.
Yours sounds dumb. Mine sounds good. Exactly. All right, so
now I want to go be a reporter.
Right, exactly. Speaking of sounding dumb, and my next one is called sheep squatch.
I like it.
Appalachian enigma. So the sheep squatch, also known as the white thing, not the the wild thing, the white thing, is a cryptid said to roam the Appalachian region, again, particularly in West Virginia. Descriptions vary, but it's also depicted as a large 7 to 8 feet tall, woolly creature with white fur, ram-like horns, and glowing red eyes.
That sounds like they
all sound kind of similar.
Nah, what was this? The bridge.
Yeah, the Goatman Bridge.
Yeah, it sounds like Goatman.
But this is just not in that bridge area. This is kind of
maybe
everywhere.
he's taking a vacation.
Some reports claim it has long, sharp teeth and emits a sulfur-like odor. So it's been part of the Appalachian folklore for decades, since the early 1900s, with sightings concentrated in the Boone County, Putnam County, and Mason County. I'll maybe put a little thing here. I don't know what that's at. Although skeptics argue it could be a misidentified bear again, or large dog. Believers insist that the aggressive behavior and eerie appearance sets it apart from other known animals. Basically, I guess the way it's. But I mean, even if it's like a large dog where that's rabid, or not even rabid, just kind of out there and feral.
I know exactly what this is.
Yeah. So some of the encounters is a group of women in 1994 around the Mountain Road encounter, the TNT area they call it. The group of women driving along an icy mountain road in Boone County reported seeing a large white-furred creature standing in the middle of the road. As our headlights illuminated, it just turned and fled into the woods. So that's what they described what this thing looked like. They didn't recognize right away. But then again, when you see something briefly and at nighttime, and I don't know, I didn't say if it was snowing, and then it runs away, I would imagine your description can be a little shady, but you can't get a good look at it. Maybe I'm not sure. I'm not sure how good it would.
I just know eyewitness accounts aren't really the best.
Exactly. Another Navy seaman in 1994. Navy seaman Edward Rollins claimed to see this cheap Scotch drinking water from a creek before disappearing into the forest. He described it as a bear size, covered with thick white fur with horns and a dog-like head. Also reported a strong sulfur smell, possibly linked to the industrial pollution out there. Interesting. Okay. And that's, I mean, I don't know for sure if this guy was a Navy seaman, but I would kind of believe his description. Again, I don't know how credible this guy is or something, but if it's true, that I would believe his kind of reporting of what he's looking at.
Maybe. I mean,
maybe.
Kinda,
we don't know this person. We don't even know this. It's a true accounting. I'm trying to look. Again, when we look at stuff online, we try to look at stuff that has kind of more than one course. It's hard to navigate some stuff, as you guys know, online and stuff. So we're trying to give as best as we can here. And then in 1995, the Boone County car attack. So a couple driving through Boone County spotted a large white beast sitting on a roadside ditch. When they stopped to get a better look, the creature lunged at the car, leaving deep scratches on the vehicle. And it's weird, this version of the sheep squatch described it having 4 eyes. That was probably just maybe something on it that made it look like it had 4 eyes. Maybe some kind of...
it had glitter.
Glitter. I'm just saying like the fur or something might have some patches on it or something. I don't know. Anyways, so there was also in 1999 a group of campers in Boone County, same area, reported hearing heavy footsteps outside their tent. When they went to look out, they saw a massive white furred creature standing at the edge of the campsite, and it let out a deep growl. Didn't say anything more than that. And,
that's weird that it's always white.
Yeah, it's a white furred creature. So there's been no official police documentation, but just independent reports that through the 90s, basically. I didn't hear anything lately of what it's been. Again, this thing shows up online, Fallout 76. Again, a lot of the video games will show this stuff, and there's other publications about it, but no official, documentation reports on it.
So my thing with the white fur, if it doesn't match the environment. So if it was white fur, it'd be more north, I would say, like Canada, where it's snow that could be almost year round.
Yeah.
Unless this thing got into a bunch of cocaine. And that's just what it's doing.
Found a mountain of cocaine and it's all hopped up on coke. Okay, so that was a sheep squatch. That was a weird one talking about you had, I think, mentioned about moonshine or something in West Virginia.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it's like more of the moonshine that people get too fucked up and they might see something, or maybe some out there
hallucinating.
Guy. Yeah, I think like maybe an out there guy has like a ram's sheet that he killed a ram. He's wearing the skin, the fur,
right?
And he's fucking with people.
Just want people to stay away from this area because he's off the grid and stuff.
I think that's more likely what it is.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's what. I guess that makes sense. But
still would like to see sheep squatch and Sasquatch fight.
Cryptid fights.
Cryptid fights. It's going to be a new series.
It might be. And that actually sounds pretty cool. But all right, let me jump in. Before we start jumping into your weird stories here, let me jump in one more. It's called the Beast of Busco. It's Indiana's. Beast of Busco is Indiana. Okay. It dates back to 1898 when a guy named Oscar Fulk, Fulk.
Nah, I don't trust him.
Yeah, a farmer in Churubusco, Indiana, claimed to see a massive snapping turtle in the Fulk Lake on this property. A lot of these cryptid things are, it's like a long time ago too.
But it's a snapping turtle.
Exactly. So this kind of beast is kind of similar. I mean, it's a cryptid, but it's at the same time it's not. So, but let me get more into the story here. So the story kind of faded in 1948 when two fishermen. It faded after that claim in 1898. It kind of just went away, and then 1948, it's two fishermen, Ora Blue and Charlie Wilson.
Ora Blue.
Ora Blue, that's his name. Ora.
God damn, boy.
Yeah.
Your parents didn't like you.
Yeah, Ora Blue.
Ora Blue.
I like that. Is a weird name.
Ora Blue.
All right, sorry, Mr. Ora or Mr. Blue.
What were we gonna name?
They
Ora Blue.
reported seeing a giant turtle in that same lake in 1940. This is almost like 50 years later.
Okay.
They reignited the interest in the creature. Gail Harris, the landowner at the time, saw the turtle himself and launched multiple attempts to capture it, including draining the lake using nets and even hiring a deep-sea diver. From what I understand,
diver never came up.
Diver didn't find anything, and trying to drain the lake, it had issues with trying to do that, and they couldn't get it done at that time. You know, this is 1948 time. So the physical description is believed to be an enormous snapping turtle, possibly an alligator snapping turtle.
Oh, fuck that.
Witnesses estimated the weight at around 500 pounds and its shell to be over 4 feet tall in diameter. So I went to look to see how big these snapping turtles get, and this is on both the weight and the size, or double as big as a normal size.
It's like the biggest ones they got.
As the biggest ones they got. So it's just normally around 250 pounds, and the shell's usually around 2 feet. So this is double the size. So
okay.
I mean, is it cryptid? Yes, because it's never been actually captured, but it's actually just maybe a super large,
turtle, man.
big, huge turtle.
I'm not getting in that lake.
No.
That.
Some describe it as having dark leather skin, massive head, and powerful limbs. So,
well, they haven't seen it since, right?
Well, no, I haven't seen it since. So,
like it's all been in the 40s,
right,
and in the early 1800s.
So again, this guy Harris tried to drain the lake, expose the creature, but its efforts failed due to heavy rains refilling the water. In 1949, I know, just kept doing it.
Yeah, a goddamn drought year to do that.
No, I don't know why they didn't try again later, or just wait till it stopped raining and do it.
He's like, guys, no, we're gonna drain. Get the buckets.
See, I rented this equipment, and I have it back at my Sears. By next week, I can't do this again.
Yeah, guys, we only got Monday through Thursday. I gotta go back to work,
and I'm not going to put another money into this. Anyways, a group of drivers attempt to locate the turtle. We found no traces despite large disturbances of water.
Yeah, I'm bailing on this now.
In 1949, right?
Stupid enough to try to drain a lake in a fucking rainstorm.
Guy named Del Weidengarter reportedly filmed the Beast of Busco from a tree. Witnesses who saw the footage claimed the turtle was clearly visible beneath the water, but the film's whereabouts are no. Obviously, no one's ever seen this film. It's just a claim of it. So, I mean, this Life magazine tried to do a hunt, but got no photos. With 299 photos, they didn't be able to. Find nothing about it. The town of Churubusco now celebrates the legend of Turtle Day Festival. The shell is labeled Beast of Busco, and it kind of seemed like something that. And this cryptid kind of doesn't seem out of. The only thing that they haven't been able to capture it, but it just seems like a abnormally large creature that's already been there. It's not
it might have been there for a long time.
It didn't have a human head, or it's just a normal snapping turtle that just happened to be like twice as big as normal, which happens sometimes.
It would have been even better if it like snapped onto one dude's foot.
Right, exactly. So this one was. I mean, this one was more believable than all the other ones I've read because, again, it's just like it's just like if you see a bear that's twice as big, you're like, holy crap, that bear is big, But sometimes it happens.
Yeah, and the other thing is, you can sit there and snap photos all you want, but snapping turtles go under like ledges and shit.
Right. Yeah.
They find like crevices and ledges to hide under.
They're camera shy.
But goddamn, this dude's a fucking moron.
Right. So let's jump into, even some more of the stranger ones and stranger stories we have.
Oh man.
I have a few here that are. Let me start with this one here real quick. Sorry, I'm jumping again. I have one called the Snallygaster. Now, this is more of a folklore legend, and it's kind of proven to be almost kind of false, but it's still out there as a. So it's called the snallygaster. I know, I'll put the name here. Snallygaster is a bird-like chimera originating the 18th century German folklore in Frederick County, Maryland. The early settlers described it as a half bird, half reptile creature with metallic beak lined with razor sharp teeth and octopus-like tentacles. I cannot talk. It is rumored
that was an old one of the old Greek.
We've probably seen a few of these. Exactly.
Yeah, it's old Greek monsters. That was
rumored to swoop silently from the sky, snatching victims and draining their blood. So, early German settlers that moved into this area, the snallygaster is originally called the Schneller Geist, meaning quick ghost in German. Settlers in Frederick County, Maryland, claimed the creature would swoop silently from the sky, snatching livestock and even children. So, ward off attacks, they painted as 7-pointed stars on barns, some that can still be seen today.
Really going to save you.
So, you got actually. So, say you actually have this creature, and you're going to go out and paint a symbol, and it's going to stay away. I mean, granted, I mean it's just
so like it reads.
Again, this is on the weird part because this is something that's just like really out there. That's kind of
that's because people do weird shit when they're scared.
I guess Grafton Monster and Sheep Squatch were out there too, but I mean
think that's a big ass eagle that was snatching people.
So in 1909, in February and March, the Midtown Valley Register reported had reports of a winged beast tearing locals, and witnesses described having enormous wings, long pointed bill, claws like steel hooks, and an eye in the center of its forehead, just one eye. Creature was said to make screeches like a locomotive whistle. The Smithsonian Institute offered a reward for its hide, and President Theodore Roosevelt reportedly at one time considered postponing an African safari to hunt it.
I believe it.
So later on revealed that Mid Valley Register editor, his name is George Roderick, and reporter Ralph Wolf fabricated the sightings to boost newspaper sales. So they made it all up. They got everybody up in a tizzy and stuff, and then they came out later like, we were just like messing around. We were trying to boost sales. And
but
a lot of these stories from cryptids that books and people, they will do that, and towns will boost it to boost.
There might have been an eagle that was big enough to
yeah.
Because the eagles will snatch a small child, livestock. They will snatch anything.
Well, the only thing is like it's all the other descriptions of it with the octopus stuff and thing. But that does sound like a big giant bird. Yes,
yeah, but I can completely believe they fabricated that. But there might have been an eagle big enough to snatch some things. That might have been a problem.
So while no recent sightings have been confirmed, the snallygaster remains, popular cryptid in Maryland folklore. I guess it's folklore stuff.
I like it.
They actually have a snallygaster museum. Founded by Sarah Cooper. It showcases all those clippings and books and models and art and pop culture pieces. They even host events and private showings for it. It's been all sorts of movies and obviously books written about it and everything. So it's one of those ones out there that is
They took that from a Greek folklore.
Yeah.
And it sounds like something like Odysseus would have to fight or some shit.
And I think, again, it got a lot of play because that, newspaper back then kind of posted it as real and got everybody up all in the roar. And then you're like, okay, we were just messing around.
And you see a big-ass bird in the sky. And you're like, oh, shit.
Like I said, it could be an eagle or something. Those things get pretty large. And if you just kind of
snatch a kid quick.
Yeah, and it had wings and also had like octopus arms and had just one eye and whatever.
Like you got close enough to see it.
Right, exactly. So some of the weirder kind of ones that were kind of explainable. And I'm like, okay, that one's a little weird.
I mean, it's explainable. It's just kind of pissing me off. I mean, like, good for them. They just made up some shit.
They're getting people down to the town. More power to them.
All right, good. Exactly. That's how you boost economy right there.
That's how you boost economy.
You make up shit. All right, so the weird ones I found, speaking of people in, like, fur coats and shit. So this one's called the Bunny Man. So the Bunny Man is apparently an escaped mental patient from one of the local hospitals. And he dipped out into the woods.
So scary.
And what he does is he likes to kill bunnies to survive. And he wears their fur coats as a bunny suit.
Right. That's
Now, I don't know about you, but if I was walking and I saw a grown-ass man with a crazy smile and a bunny suit that looked like...
fucked up, not a nice bunny suit from the costume store. This is a fucked up bunny suit.
You're talking about bunny suit.
Did they have the ears?
Yes.
You went full through?
I believe it had the ears.
Probably a little cute cotton tail.
That'd be hilarious if you had the fucking tail. But if you see that in the middle of the woods, you're like, nah, I've seen this movie one too many times. I'm out.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Turn around. My mom calling me?
Yeah, you need to turn around.
That's creepy as shit. Yeah.
So
I wonder if this escaped mental patient, if he was like a violent person or just kind of just a little out there. So I wonder if he's like
If he's living in the woods,
right? There's no reports of him attacking anybody. He just got there minding his own business.
Yeah, I didn't find any reports of an attack or anything like that. He likes bunnies.
Well, if he's eating the bunnies, at least he's using all parts of it. You know,
he's surviving the woods. Yeah. So apparently, I don't know, because apparently he's smart enough to survive in the woods.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Okay. He's got survival skill. Yeah,
And back when they did this story, they put people in mental institutions for anything.
Right. What did it say when the story,
I think it was like early 1900s.
Okay. You know. So by now he's long gone. Okay, obviously this is like early.
Or is he?
Some of these cryptids live on to be a long time.
Yeah, but you know, I don't know. Maybe he just had his family didn't like him. They shoved him in a mental institution.
Right, exactly.
I'll fucking show you. I'll go out and I'll live off bunnies.
Right.
But the other thing is, you can't live off bunnies. It's already been proven. You'll go mad. There's actually a syndrome for it because there's no.
Maybe that explains some of his.
Maybe he was a mental institution patient and then he became even crazier.
Yeah, or maybe that's how I got in the first place, because he was doing that and he just went back doing the same thing again because he's living up the bunnies.
The bunny man.
We gotta see. You guys are all a little surprised about that, huh?
And maybe when he escaped, they're like, "Dude, I don't. He keeps bringing dead shit into the hospital. I want it."
He's like, you know what I miss? The taste of bunnies. I went out there.
I want a cottontail right now.
Cottontail, exactly. Well, go on. What other weird one do you have there?
The other one was I found the grass man.
The grass man. Yeah, it's not like a smoking.
No,
old school grass.
I'm thinking grass, almost man. Like you gotta like cut grass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
He has three. He's a giant humanoid that has 3 toes.
3 toes?
3 toes.
On each foot, or just 3 toes altogether?
I think on each
2
foot.
on one and one. Oh, okay, gotcha.
On each foot.
All right.
I just thought it was stupid. I'm like, why would you name him the grass man? That has nothing to do with anything.
Maybe it smells like grass. Like you said, cut grass.
I'd want to be around him all day.
So what?
I'd capture that little fucker. That fresh cut grass smells amazing.
Right. What else is he doing?
No, there was really nothing to it. It was just I found the grass man, and I was like, "This is."
It's just a dumb name to it.
They have zero explanation on it, and I was like, "Okay, this is pretty legit." Like, why would you name him the grass man?
What should we name him? Let's name him the grass man. All right. Yeah, man. Let's name him the grass man. Yeah.
Every time I see him, I'm fucking smoking grass, man.
Where's my 3-toed buddy? Get over here. Yeah, exactly. That's an interesting one. That's funny.
All right.
And I did, and looking, like you said, I saw a lot of cryptids that has like maybe one little small paragraph of description, and I said there's nothing else to it. Just. Yeah. If you can make a list and just put some stuff you can think of, and it'll make it up there, you can probably make a cryptid out there and stuff. And again, we'll run through a lot, but it's funny to put some. We will start doing that with some of these just really weird ideas.
I'm like, well, why the?
I know when I look for some little more to it, stuff. But that is funny that you put that out, and we should put that out there. So my last one here that I have. Actually, I got a couple here because I think I passed over by one here. I got 2 more here that don't fit the normal, like we have the normal type of cryptid. And this first one's kind of almost like an apparition type. It's called the Snarly Yow. Snarly Yow, put the name there. Yeah, it's a spectral dog-like cryptid that's haunting the Blue Ridge Mountains and South Mountains and Harper's Ferry in West Virginia and Maryland and Virginia.
All that back Appalachian shit.
Since the 1700s. German settlers, again, brought the stories of the creature with them, describing it as a large black or gray dog with glowing red eyes. Unlike typical cryptids, this Snarly Yow is believed to be a non-physical being. It appears and disappears at will, leading some to believe it's a ghostly entity rather than a flesh and blood eating creature. Basically, but probably they got it from Snarly. Yeah, exactly. So early German settlers German immigrants report a dog-like beast we're just talking about that appears suddenly on roads leading into town, would chase travelers, sometimes pacing along, beside horses at full gallop before vanishing in thin air.
Would the horse act up though?
I don't know. It didn't say anything.
If the horse doesn't act up, then that dog was the actual guardian of the horse.
There we go. That's kind of cool. So in the 1800s, that was 1800s, a hunter in Bonesboro, Maryland, fired at the Snarly Yow, only to watch his bullets pass through the creature without effect. When he searched the area for his bullets, they had disappeared, reinforcing the belief that the cryptid was not a physical being, basically.
You dumbass. Why would you shoot at a ghost dog?
If it's at night, how are you going to find your bullets? I mean,
yeah, but if you're looking at like a blue fucking floating dog, why would you shoot at it?
Right, exactly. Well, maybe because it was being threatening to him and he thought it was an actual company's going
What
to
if I
charge
was
him
humping
something.
his leg and he was like, fuck, stop it. Every time I walk out here.
It's not his gun he fired off is what happened. So in the 1970s, the modern day car drivers in West Virginia reported hitting a large dog with a car, only to
now you
find
can hit it?
no damage, no body. Some claim the creature reappeared behind them, snarling menacingly. So they thought they hit
Bitch,
it.
you hit me.
Yeah. I think they actually felt it and then went out and there was no damage, there was no body, and the dog's right behind there. So it's a weird kind of snarly
So
yowl.
you
There's
can't
not much
shoot
more
it,
than
but
that.
you can hit it with a car.
Right.
All right.
Basically. So
this is
it's
a little inconsistent.
and it's features on all a bunch of stories about folklore and stuff. So it's kind of a folklore-ish one, kind of weird. It's not really a cryptid. It's almost like a ghost entity, but it's almost like a cryptid. It's kind of in that weird kind of.
It's like don't go in the woods at night. The
snarly owls.
There.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything
like
about it
you can
actually doing any damage to anybody, but it does come after. I guess it's scary enough if you think a
Humps
dog's
your leg.
gonna, you got a large dog coming after you that's feral and trying to bite you, you're gonna freak out, and But then if it just
so did it say like if you're gonna go out in the woods at night, maybe like go with a bone, and like
a ghost bone, ghost bone. Oh, I think I saw that on the internet.
you need to watch what you start. What you Google, buddy.
Right.
Ghost bone.
Did you have anything else?
Yeah. So I'm gonna leave that one for last. But okay. So people in Oklahoma, you got some issues. So this is called the Oklahoma octopus.
Okay. Oklahoma octopus, yes.
Okay, so octopus have been known to go into fresh water, but they can't live there for a long time, right?
Okay, yeah.
So in one of the lakes there, the people there, apparently this lake is a high mortality rate, a lot of unexplained drownings. Mm-hmm. They decided, which there has been no physical evidence, no one has ever seen it, nothing. No survivor came out and was like, that fucking octopus was on me.
Instead of explaining there's a bunch of drunk partiers that just drown in a lake because they're not watching what you're doing.
And now I've seen in Seattle a guy fight an octopus off that it was on his back. Like I've seen it. I saw it. It was the funniest thing I've ever watched.
Right.
Big ass octopus, like 60-pound octopus.
Ooh. That sounds fun.
So what they say is this octopus is the size of a horse. It's reddish brown skin, which no one's ever seen it.
Yes.
But it's reddish brown skin and it's the size of a horse.
They got a good description of it. Okay.
In a freshwater lake.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
And when you go swimming in it, which I think after like 10 people go missing, I would stop swimming in the lake.
Yeah, right.
Right. That's just me.
Exactly.
Maybe there's an undertow. Maybe there's a giant snapping turtle.
Yeah.
I don't know. But they're blaming a fucking octopus.
Right. Instead of being a... So like here we have so like Lake Mead, they have a lot of those people. They say don't go in the water when you're partying. Don't get in the water when you're drunk because stuff happens. And
there's
happens
fucking undertows
and stuff. So that happens. But exactly, we're just people are just being careless and they're undertows.
You're
and
gonna drown like an idiot.
They're trying to swim when they're drinking, or just they don't know what they're doing and being careless. Here they're like, yeah, no, it's an octopus. Yeah, it's an octopus, right?
But the funny thing is that thing has to be the size of a horse. So that thing has to be what?
That's
at
big.
Least 250 pounds.
Yeah, that's a big in a lake. All right.
That is not a small octopus.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So they should have named it the Kraken of Oklahoma.
You know what? They're probably going to do that now. No, we're going to trademark it. Yep. That's
Sorry, fuck you, Oklahoma.
That's his. Yeah, exactly. The Kraken
of Oklahoma. That's funny. What the fuck? Unseen octopus.
Yeah. How do you get a description if no one's ever seen it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you would think you would at least see, if someone starts drowning, you would at least see a tentacle.
Yeah.
Something around them.
Yeah.
Because they don't really it's not like they just suck you down.
Yeah.
They kind of they'll just slowly kind of just get around you and then you slowly drown.
They're not seeing any tentacles. They just probably see the guy's testicles before he goes down, basically.
Dude, you need to stop Googling things. Be careful.
All right.
What do you got?
Yeah, my last one, again, not a typical cryptid, and this is almost in the UFO area, but I thought he came up on the cryptid list, and I thought this is very interesting. It's an actual person. It's named Indrid Cold. You guys might have heard that before. Indrid Cold, also known as the Grinning Man, is a mysterious humanoid figure first reported in West Virginia in 1966. Now, he is really closely related to something else. Let's get into it here. He's described as a tall man with unnaturally wide grin. He's also linked to UFO phenomena. Some believe he is an extraterrestrial, and others think he's an ultra-terrestrial being. And I'll explain ultra-terrestrial here. Let's get no more. So Indrid Cold was first introduced to the public by Woodrow Derenberger, sewing machine salesman from Parkersburg, West Virginia. So he claimed on November 2nd, 1966, while he was driving along Interstate 77, a dark gray craft blocked his path. Okay, a tall man, well, supposedly that craft landed. So a tall man with slick black hair came out with a wide grin, approached his car, and spoke telepathically to him. He introduced himself as Indrid Cold. Actually, I think at first he just introduced himself as Cold. He didn't even say the first name.
Cold. Are you cold?
Maybe. Cold. It didn't say about what kind of dialect he has some, and I didn't get to it.
Cool. I'm going to say he's German.
Maybe.
No, Swedish.
Well, remember
Swedish.
in the movies, they're always like, they have a British accent. So maybe he had a
Fuck
British
Brits.
accent.
No, you're Swedish now.
What if it was like a Jersey accent? It would be really weird.
Yeah,
Like really heavy. Yeah.
I can't even do it right now.
Or if it was British, it was like a really heavy Cockney accent.
He was actually
or
in
something.
Jersey Shore.
Right. Exactly.
We just never, they were so fucked up, we never noticed
it. So Cold claimed to be from planet Lanulus, and he promised to visit again.
Don't visit again.
So this Derenberger later claimed to have multiple encounters with him, with Cold over the years, and he even claimed to travel to Lanulus, whatever.
He had a relationship.
Yeah, exactly. So again, so he. Let's go. So around the same time as Derenberger's sighting, Linda Lilly, a young girl in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Point Pleasant. What is that related to? Woke up to find a broad-shouldered man grinning at her in her bedroom. She screamed and hid under the covers. When she looked again, he was gone. The family reported poltergeist activity and diamond-shaped lights in the sky before the incident. So I bring up, let's do it. So in early 1966, again, November, an elderly man told Mary Hire. Gee, guys, I'm so sorry. I just can't talk.
He's having a rough day.
Yes. An elderly man in November 1966 told Mary Hire's newspaper office in Point Pleasant, again, the Point Pleasant, interesting. Why is Point Pleasant interesting?
I don't know.
In that time and era, Mothman sightings.
Oh shit!
It was all connected to that. He was even in that movie Mothman. Indrid Cold kind of entered to
that movie was fucking horrible.
So a coworker had seen a strange grinning man while driving home in Marietta, Ohio. The man was described Cold as unnerving and with unnatural smile that never faded.
Yeah, let's just stop and help that guy.
So in 1967, Derenberger's encounter. Mary Hire, a journalist covering the Mothman sightings, began receiving bizarre phone calls from a man who spoke in a robotic tone and asked strange questions. Some believe these calls were connected to Indrid Cold as they coincided with UFO sightings in the area.
Hold on. The guy telepathically spoke to the first guy.
Yes.
But now he's making robotic calls?
On the phone. I guess because on the phone, whatever. I mean,
can't you just telepathically talk
maybe.
to him over the phone,
They don't know if that was Cold. They just thought it was related to Cold. It was kind of all in that same time frame and everything. Asking weird questions. So some researchers believe Indrid Cold can be linked to the Men in Black. Mysterious figures who allegedly intimidate UFO witness. We've had Men in Black episodes because he's
that one picture we had, remember?
Reportedly seeing strange men in dark suits following him afterward. After they encountered Cold, they report Men in Black following him afterwards, basically.
Oh, okay. They're like, dude, did you see him? Was he cold?
Right. So some of the theories. So we talked about being an extraterrestrial visitor. Okay, they believe he's a alien being who arrived on Earth, and they say that the guy they're saying from the planet Lanalos, in the Ganymede galaxy, where people lived in peace and wore tight-fitting clothes.
Yeah. So Ganymede.
So some of the stuff I didn't proofread too much more. Other theories suggest Cold was a benevolent space traveler. Okay, studying human behavior, making contact with selected individuals. So the ultra-terrestrial being. Paranormal researcher John Keel proposed Cold as an ultra-terrestrial, meaning he was not from another planet, but rather from another dimension.
So he was a human, just
another dimensional. I mean, he could have been an alien, another dimension.
So hold on, how does that work? So if you're from another dimension, but you're on Earth, isn't that just another?
You still would be an ultra-terrestrial being.
Yeah, but you're just another type of Earth at that point, right?
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
So this theory suggests Cold can shift between realities, appearing in our world and temporarily before vanishing.
Like a Sasquatch.
Yes, like I'd say sometimes Sasquatch. Cold's telepathic communication and unnatural grin indicate he is not a biological entity, but something beyond human comprehension.
Oh, yeah. So he's a fourth.
Yeah. The Men in Black. These theories say that he's connected to the Men in Black, who always intimidate people who see UFOs back in the day or whatever. I don't know if this still happens now. They report.
Now, why would they?
Yeah. The only thing I would say, well, they say he's linked, not that he is a Men in Black, or he
no,
could
but
be.
like I'm sure that if people see that guy, Men in Black are like, hey, did you see this guy?
People who've encountered Cole have reported seeing Men in Black kind of. They didn't say talking to him, but they're just kind of watching him afterwards. He may be part of a government cover-up or something. As an agent or an entity just being monitored. Like they're just monitoring, seeing what he's going to do. It'd be weird that the Men in Black wouldn't come and talk to these people. Like, what do you talk about? Maybe they already know. They just wanted to, let's see what this guy's going to do.
Maybe they have a rivalry.
Maybe he's from another faction, and they're like, okay, what is he doing here? Like,
we're the Men in Blue, bitch.
Or he was part one of them, and he branched off.
Him out.
Yeah. And
decided to do his own thing.
Yeah, and then of course they just suggest the Cold was just a hoax or a prank, that orchestrated by individuals to gain attention, because there's no really physical evidence, and the whole thing about his home planet and stuff, that Darren Berger thing, and that he visited and stuff, really throws a wrench in the whole. Like, really, dude, you gotta.
So what if he left the Men in Black because he was like, guys, you don't smile enough?
Right, you guys are boring.
I'm gonna make a group that smiles constantly.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So that was one of the weird, when he's showing up again, connected to the Mothman. I think in the movie, I don't know if he was there exactly the same time, but it was around that era he was kind of showing up. But the whole Point Pleasant thing, which we'll do a Mothman thing one time, was all weird stuff going on. Not just Mothman, there was like UFO stuff going on, a bunch of weird.
It was weird.
They're very weird,
A lot of catastrophes.
Yeah. It was all weird and all about the point. So we'll jump in there. But he was kind of dead. But I thought he was interesting because he came up as a listed of cryptids. Again, he had introduced himself as Cold, and later after he knew that dude, he said his first name was Indrid Cole or whatever it was.
His name's Indrid.
Just asking him weird questions, didn't do anything, and he would just disappear. He showed it to a few people. So another story, he came down, he blocked this truck of guys, and he got out and he just asked him, not dude, even something, a couple of questions, and then he would just go away, just like, who are you, or where am I at, or stuff like that.
Dude, where's my car?
He's like, dude, where's my car?
Like,
hey, what does this look like? Does it look good? What does it say? Dude, and sweet? Yeah. Dude.
What does this say? Dude.
Anyways, yeah, so I thought that was good. And you're going up with the photos, or not the actual photos, like the pics of what he would look like. It was really creepy,
Why don't we get to see anything cool like that nowadays?
Well, I mean, if you do some people watching in our place, or even on the strip, you'll see some interesting stuff. That's for damn sure.
Still haven't seen that?
Yeah. We haven't seen a headless monster. Yeah.
That'd be pretty dope.
That would be pretty dope.
I'd bet it.
So what we got, Uno Mas with you, right? So
this is the last one.
The last
I think this is the best one.
Yes, let's do it.
For some reason, I kept running into melon heads. So melon heads.
Isn't that a candy?
Yeah, actually it is. So there's actually a thing over in Kirtland, Ohio. Mm-hmm. And then there's one in another town right near Kirtland.
Oh, Midwest.
So the story goes, a doctor who lived in the woods, I don't know why he's living in the woods, somehow acquired a bunch of children. This sounds like a pedophile.
Sounds shady, but okay.
Possibly he got these kids from a mental hospital, and he would perform things like just experiments on them.
Yeah.
And somehow it caused them to have these bulbous, misshapen heads.
Oh, because from the experiments.
Like a watermelon.
That sucks.
I don't know how long he did this. I don't know how long people knew about it, whatever.
Yeah.
But apparently one night, these kids said, fuck it, I'm done. I'm not doing this no more with you.
Yeah.
And they revolted. And they killed him, burned the house down. And now these little watermelon head kids are running around the woods.
Yeah.
I think they might still be out there till
But when did the story take place then?
Fuck, it didn't really say.
Oh, okay.
It was just
a story out
watermelon
there.
heads.
Yeah, okay.
But I thought that was a good one.
So this guy's doing that. I mean, do you think somebody would have been a little bit like, okay, so this doctor has all these kids, and suddenly he's ordering like extra large baseball caps for these kids?
I don't know.
Like, are you sure? I don't know this is gonna fit the kids. I'm like, no, believe me, that's fine.
Can it go one size bigger too? Yeah.
But this big? Yeah.
Who comes up with that story?
Yeah, I have no idea. Probably somebody who just had an abnormally large head, and they just made a whole story up about there's a bunch of them.
Uncle, why is your head so fucked up? Well, I was part of the watermelon head kids gang, and this is what happened to us.
Right.
And we killed that son of a bitch.
That's right. Uncle, did you guys like melon head candies? No, we hated that candy.
Fuck you asshole.
We felt like cannibals eating that candy. We ain't doing it.
Yeah. What do you mean by watermelon head, huh?
All right, sorry to all the melon head people out there. Don't mean to insult you, but yeah, that was our Cryptids Part 2. List of stuff that we find.
Find a little interesting.
Very interesting things. Again, I mean, we haven't even I don't know. I haven't even begun to look outside the United States. This is just stuff in the States.
We could do a whole show just on Nevada. They have a whole list of cryptids here.
Again, some of the stuff we try to get stuff a little more meat, more sightings and stuff and everything. But we will throw in like we have this last couple that are just funny that we see.
I just thought they were hilarious.
They are funny. The grass man,
fucking octopus, the Oklahoma Kraken.
All right, man. Hey, we got anything else?
No.
Hey, everybody, don't forget to tell us what's on your mind. Give us comments. First, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. But yeah, do you guys got any type of comments, ideas, some cryptid ideas, or something?
Please let us know.
Let us know. You know, if you don't like our show, that's fine. Thank you for watching, anyways. Tell us what we can improve on. Yeah.
You really didn't like that one.
There was an episode. There was a couple of thumbs down. I'm like, who takes their time to thumbs down? Just don't watch it.
I don't know.
I thought it was funny. It was great. Whatever.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. That sounds good. Yeah, that's sorry it's been so long. Stuff's going on and stuff.
Life happens. Right?
Life happens. We do try to get them out as quick as we can, and hopefully it won't take as long next time. And we'll see you guys again.
Yeah.
Bye. Later. Woo-woo.